Welcome to So Very Easy. My name is Laura and I love to iron. And I have found a new iron that I'm going to try out, and it has some interesting features. It is the Panasonic cordless iron. Now cordless as in the iron itself is cordless. The base has a cord to keep it charged. The iron comes with its own carry-in case, which is a feature that I really like because I do travel a lot with my iron, and this will just save me having to find something to put it in. It's a good strong case. And to take this case off, you're just going to pull this and it's going to come right off. Let's take the cardboard and all the extra wrapping off. The base of the iron is definitely different than most irons. It has the one point, but it has the secondary point where most irons have a flat area here, which is a base so that you'd be able to put the iron down. This does not have that because it sits right inside of its own cradle. The front of the iron is the same. We have steam, we have somewhere to put the water, but it is all charged in one area, so you don't put the iron down on a surface. It will rest always in its house. It does have a reservoir for the water inside. There's a little button on the side, and just by pushing that, this whole base is going to come off. So you're able to bring this to the tap to fill it up with water. You don't have to bring the container to the iron. It has a little area here we just lift up. The water is going to go right inside there. There's a line along the side that says max, so you'll know where to stop filling this water. You don't have to use the steam feature. It's just a nice thing to have handy. I won't have to worry about picking up the iron and moving it around and taking a chance of burning myself. I'll just be able to fill up the reservoir and then bring it back to the iron and click it on. The setting on the front has a no steam, a medium steam, and a high steam. And you can just change it to what you want. We have a steam button and a spray button, so I'm able to spray right from the iron itself. The cord stores in its base. I'm able to pull it out, and with just a little tug, it stops into the position it wants, and it goes back in. And it has quite a long cord. The iron does not have a knob where you can adjust the temperature that you want. It's all done by this little keypad. The adjustment needs to be made while the iron is sitting in its base. Once you pick it up, you can't change that temperature. I'm going to set it on the high and put on the high steam. So the red light is flashing on the high, and my steam button is all the way to the right-hand side. That red light will continuously blink until it gets to the temperature that you want. So you'll be able to tell if the iron is ready just by the light not blinking. Once it's set to the temperature I need, I'm going to be able to take it off the base and use it. The nice part is I can use this in any direction, and you can hear the steam already built up. So I'm having a nice continuous steam. If I need just an extra shot of steam, I have that extra button. When I'm finished ironing, I'm going to be able to put it right back on its base. In order for the iron to stay hot, it needs to stay plugged in into its little housing here. If you don't touch it, after 10 minutes, it's going to turn off on its own. If it's turned off and you want to turn it back on, just continue to press that set button until you get to the temperature that you want. So a few of the features that I like about the iron, of course, is the convenience of not having that cord. A lot of times as I'm pressing, that cord runs along the fabric and can get in my way. It also gives me a chance to press corners going in one direction and press corners going from behind. I don't have to turn my fabric I like the fact that I can move it perhaps a little bit farther than what a cord would allow me. The movable water reservoir is great so I don't burn myself, and I can empty that water when I'm done my classes. The cord goes right back into its base, and I don't have to worry about that iron cooling down. I can just snap that cover on and take it to go. So the only thing I really have to keep in mind is, in order for it to stay hot, is for it to stay on its base. And I usually don't press for a long time anyways. I'll press for a minute or two, and then I would take my iron and normally put it into a position like this, or the one with the feet, until I'm ready to use it again. So it's just as easy for me to put it in its base. This is definitely going to be very convenient to travel with, regardless if I'm doing classes or maybe traveling to my laundry room. Or how about traveling to my closet so that I can steam out a wrinkle in the shirt before I put it on. Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.